Hi, this is Dr. Jenny Mitchell, and I'm going to go over the first day's recording. The data visualization and inspirational persuasion class is going to introduce you to a lot of different topics. Let's look at the agenda for the first day. In the first day, we talk about what's a community of practice. We tell you how to find your ebooks. We look at office.com, Screencast-O-Matic, we look at Lucidchart, Venngage, and we also look at how we could talk about the top 5 web apps for collaboration and engagement. There's more to that story, and we'll get to it in a minute. A community of practice is the most effective strategy to encourage innovation and build a network to support each other's learning. One of the reasons that the courses are combined is because that way you see the discussion board from not just your own concentration area, but from everyone. So it's important that you participate in the OL 554 discussion board. Your grades for that will be in your own course. So if you're an SL or if you're a not-for-profit concentration area, you're going to see 3 courses in your Woods Online, just for this, talk about data visualization and inspirational persuasion. What you'll be doing is you always post your discussions in the OL 554 course, and that way you can go back and see some of the others' postings. I'd like you to always read at least one posting from your own concentration area and one posting of someone else's. So for instance, if I'm an SL concentration area, I'm going to look at something that's been posted by one of my SL counterparts, but I'm also going to look at another concentration area. I also want you to make sure you don't just always go read somebody else's posts every time the same person. You're going to learn more if you broaden out the scope of what you look at. So if you did a discussion post on a collaboration that say had Teams and Lucidchart and some of those things in it, you might want to try to read somebody else's that maybe has picked some different collaboration apps. Now, just so you know, these are some of the discussion board comments when I ask this question. For example, you start out, you've chosen a concentration of a certain area, but you don't know if that's what you end up doing. So actually getting a perspective from different lenses is good. And you can see some of these concentration. For example, I really like this one that Hilda Andrews put in. She goes, I learned so much from my classmates and they were so supportive. I didn't realize how best practices for employee morale would apply to my volunteers. So even though she was in the not-for-profit realm, she found out that some type of research would apply even to her volunteers. Now, most of you yesterday found your ebooks. We did that. But if you were not on the Zoom call or were not able to attend, just let me point it out. You go to library.smwc.edu and you click on databases, and you'll see an A to Z database, kind of a way to choose it. You want to go to ProQuest, eBook Central, and then you may not have to proxy in because it's supposed to be single sign-on, but if it did, it would just be putting your credentials in again. And then you search on the title. So you would search Infographic for Dummies and that book would come up. If you'll notice, we may only read a chapter or 2 from different books. So definitely read those readings as part of your assignment because there are specific things in there that will help you. You do not need to download the entire book. What I would do is read online, pick and choose some things to read that you may find more interesting. In other words, I don't think I'd download the book and print it out and highlight it. That'd be crazy. Just pick some of the major topics in it, and if there's things that are interesting, then read it. Read it online or print just a chapter of it, or make a PDF of just the chapter of it. I would not recommend downloading the entire book. Okay, let's go to the next thing. I want to tell you that at office.com, when you log in there, you will notice that in Office 365, it's more than Word and PowerPoint and Excel. If you look at all of these apps that we see here in Office 365, I think there's 68 of them. So basically, you could do a lot more with Office than just the, just the three major ones that you'll be working in. And I want you to know about that because they're free to you. And sometimes these apps will actually help solve an issue that you might be having in your organization. I also want you to know that there's 3,747 add-ins. So these are like little components that you can add into an existing app. For example, you'll see one over here on the right called Grammarly for Microsoft Word. And that's so you can access that Grammarly and look at whatever you're doing. It's going to show you where you have some issues. And the free one does a lot. It talks about getting it free. It will ask you at times if you want an upgrade, but I use the free one and that helps me quite a bit. You'll also see that if on collaboration, you'll see that if I focus on just using the word collaboration here, I have 1,147 add-ins just for collaboration. So there's lots of ways you can collaborate. You'll see those things like Slack and you'll see where you can have Google Meet add-ins and all those things. And basically what you're doing in that very first discussion that is due on Tuesday is just saying that, talking about the ones that you found, if there's a cost to them. Maybe you want to share more about one. You may want to record a little video. That's up to you. But the discussion board that's due on Tuesday is just the 5 collaborations. And we do that first one quickly because we are trying to make sure that you are invested in the course, and we also do that for financial aid purposes. You'll notice that there's some other things that we have you download. If you go to vengage.com, you have already been signed in for a subscription, so you might have even received an email about it. But if you sign into Vengage, it should show up. Sign in using your SMWC email, it should show up. The other thing is I want you to try doing Lucidchart. Make sure to use your SMWC credentials because it will log in, giving you the education view. And you'll notice that there's all kinds of things in both Vengage and Lucidchart. Vengage is an infographic software. Lucidchart is more of a charting software like flowcharts, communication planners. You can do an Ishikawa in Lucidchart. You can have organization charts, brainstorm, and mind map, and many, many more. The third thing you see here is Screencast-O-Matic. Screencast-O-Matic is a way to record both your screen and your webcam, or just your screen without your webcam, but it'll pick up your voice. So that's a good way. Screencast-O-Matic is a great way to demonstrate software because we will see what's moving on the screen. That means you can actually display that software. You could be in it. You could be working in it and demonstrating how it might work best for any organization. It's a free resource that gives you up to 15 minutes of recording time. If you want more than that, if you ever want to purchase this Screencast-O-Matic, it's very inexpensive. It's like $30. I don't recommend purchasing it, but if you ever want to use it for your actual organization, like to record software that you're trying to do training on, it's a very inexpensive software. The other thing I want you to know is that Rooney Library has a great number of resources and databases. You can do a search at the beginning. There's a video out there in the team space that deals with the library. You would have seen that if you have checked into that. If you can't find it, let me know and I'll post it, link to it in our class. So let me just show you a couple of examples of what a Screencast-O-Matic would look like. In this Screencast-O-Matic, you see Jessica Bicknell. She is going to demonstrate Hootsuite. Let me see if I can get it started here. I don't know why that's showing twice, but we'll see. And essentially with this, she can record herself with their webcam and demonstrate the software as well. So if I click on
Hi
this.
everyone, my name is Jess and I work as a digital marketing specialist for BoxUp. And one of my primary job roles is to manage all 6 of our social media accounts. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And one of my most challenging day-to-day tasks is just managing all of these accounts. We have 6 platforms that we not only have to post content to, but we also have to respond to messages and comments.
Now I'm going to go ahead and move up forward a little bit so you can see her demonstrating this. This is her, as you can see, it's a PowerPoint here in the background, but then she gets into the software. So I'm going to move forward a little bit so we can actually see her in. Okay, she's doing the pricing plans, and now we see the Let's Explore. Let's take a look at this.
Information private. So let's go to Hootsuite. This is the homepage of Hootsuite. This is where you can see all of your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, any other social accounts that you would connect here. You would see them all up here. These are called streams, so you're allowed to see your timeline, your posts, your mentions, and your scheduled posts. Another feature in streams is called messages, and that's what I'm not going to show you. I don't want to violate the privacy of people who have commented or messaged BoxUp.
So as you see, she's actually able to have her PowerPoint and then incorporate her way of exploring. So let me go back to our PowerPoint now. Let me get out of this. And we'll look at another one. And this is actually a student that is working on her Power BI, and you have a Power BI assignment. So I want you to see what this looks like as well. In this Power BI is one of the softwares that come with, let me see if I can, okay, let me go ahead and click on this link here. And this is...
Hi, I'm Donna, and I am here today to talk about Power BI. Power BI is a powerful app produced by Microsoft. It is in your Office 365. It brings all of your data together and creates nice, colorful visual charts. And as we've learned in our last assignment with infographics, visual aids help people remember things a lot more than just text or just numbers in a chart. So we're going to get started here. I've logged into Power BI.
So as you can see, she's actually using no webcam, but she's used her webcam to narrate her voice. And so if I move forward here a little bit, we'll see
her revenue is in each of the items that she sold.
And so basically she's in the software demonstrating this, and that's one of the things I really like about it, is that you're able to show how to actually use some piece of software. And that's very helpful for either training or whatever, but it's helpful in our class because you're learning from each other. So let me go back to the PowerPoint. I'll leave this page and bring up my PowerPoint again. And we'll go to the next page so that we'll talk a little bit about visualization should tell a story. That it's really all about the story, because if you think about it, you're trying to do something with that visualization, whether it's a chart. If you'll notice in Power BI, it's very interactive, so that as you click on something, you can see the effect, or you can see drill down into it per se. You want to approach the assignments as if you're managing the data, and you want to visually visualize it for an appropriate audience. You want to use all the tools that you can that are going to help you. So Screencast-O-Matic's a great tool. Lucidchart is a good one. Vengage is a good one with infographics. The more you can learn to incorporate these every day, the more that you're going to be able to actually get your point across. You know, you can use your classmates as a sounding board, provide feedback to them. You can definitely integrate your readings. I look for that when I'm grading. I look for readings that are integrated. Make sure that you remember that your discussion boards are due on Sunday night, and your response is the following Friday night. And remember, the introduction video using Screencast-O-Matic and the finding five collaboration apps. That one's due early on Tuesday. The one that says week 1, that's the things that are due this coming Sunday, which is August 22nd. So what would happen, you would post your discussion, and by the following Friday you would have responses. Remember, you need to respond to at least 2, one from your area and one from another area. Okay? And remember to vary those. So why is data visualization so important? Well, remember, even something like finding outliers when you're doing data is important to know. Outliers can tell you, a lot of information. For example, if you're doing a chart for your revenue for all your stores, and you have this outlier where they're just really outselling everyone, you want to know why. That's definitely something you would want to know. But you may also have the other opposite effect. You may have an outlier that's at the very bottom where they're not tracking with the rest of your stores. So there's lots of reasons why you want to use a visual or data visualization, because it does tell you a story. And then the other thing I want to make sure you know is that I've got on here, have you used Zoom in PowerPoint? And so I'm going to hit escape here so you can see my ribbon at the top. If I click on insert here, you'll see that I have right here I have a Zoom thing that I can do with my computer in PowerPoint. So it's not Zoom like our virtual Zoom, but it's Zoom in PowerPoint. If you don't have Zoom in your PowerPoint, it means that you have an older version of PowerPoint installed. You actually can download Microsoft Office 365 to both your laptop and another, like an iPad or another device. So definitely take advantage of the latest versions. I have videos on how to use Zoom. I'm not going to go into that now, but it's basically allows you to use PowerPoint somewhat like Prezi. If you attended Meredith Williams' orientation, that was a PowerPoint that I created for her, and it had a lot of that variation in there. So definitely take advantage of that. I decided to actually show you what Zoom looks like. So I'm in the PowerPoint for orientation, and you'll notice I've used a picture of a desk that shows all these different things on it. And what happens is if I click this picture, it's going to bring it to the front, and I can have an option so that if I re-click this picture, I've got some little animations that come in, it'll take it back. So, I can actually go through in the order I want, and then I've set one as my last one that'll take me on to the next thing. So if I go here and click edit, you'll see that with this Zoom right here, I've got this Zoom thing where I can either do summary, a section, or a slide. And what this is called slide Zoom. So what you'll notice over here on the left, I have the Zoom slide, and I've set that in here. So I could add another picture over here where I have the little plant. That'd be kind of crazy. You wouldn't be able to see it, but you get the idea. So that's just a little showing you there of what we can do. And I think I'm at the end here on this. So we'll stop there, and I will add some information about the first assignment. So thanks for listening.